You'll need the coats this morning. It's a very cold start, and this week as a whole looks quite chilly. I'll have those details and, of course, the latest on your Thanksgiving forecast coming up.
Investigators are searching for answers after an apartment fire in Macon leaves 2 people dead. What we know so far about the case as authorities work to identify the victims.
Nonsensical, this crime, and the shooting even more so. There's no sense in it.
Warner Robins police continue to search for a suspect after a bank robbery. Why police believe the robbery wasn't the man's first crime of the day.
Well, good Tuesday morning. You're taking a live look over a beautiful downtown Macon. The time is now 6:32 a.m. You can see the sun. It's peeking up. It's on this November the 23rd. I'm Wanye Reese.
And I'm Caitlin Heck. That sun cannot rise any faster to at least bring us somewhat warmer temperatures, Courtney.
That's right. Yeah, it's going to be a gradual climb today, but at least it'll get us out of the 30s eventually, because that's where we're sitting right now. 35 in the city of Macon. Northwest wind at 6. Not as breezy as yesterday, but breezy enough to make it feel more like 30 to start the day. You'll need the hat, you'll need the scarf, a nice hot cup of coffee, anything to keep you warm. Probably want to warm up that car a little early as well. 32 in Warner Robins, 34 in Forsyth and in Thomaston. We're at 35 down in Cordele, 37 in Gordon and in Dublin. We're upwards of 22 degrees cooler than this time yesterday. That cold front definitely making its presence for the start of the day, and it will continue to do so as we head through the next couple of days. So have the coats this morning and just keep them with you, because you're definitely going to need them. Here's a look at the wind speed, anywhere between 3 to 7, and this will continue to calm down throughout the day. All of us will be sitting nice and calm through the afternoon, but like I said, just enough this morning. It's just breezy enough to make it feel a little cooler in some spots. It's feeling like 32 in Warner Robins, 28 in Thomaston, feels like the upper 20s in Gordon as well, and more like 30 in Cochrane. Let's talk about that Thanksgiving forecast and a cold week ahead. That's in just a few minutes.
Well, thank you, Courtney. We now have video in from a developing story from overnight. Take a look. 2 people are dead after an apartment fire in Macon, and now investigators are trying to figure out how the fire started. Bibb deputies say it happened at the Easy Green apartment on Houston Avenue just before 2:30 this morning.
Deputies and the fire department found the building filled with flames, but firefighters were able to keep it from spreading. They found a man and woman dead inside. They are still working to identify them. An autopsy is planned to figure out how they died. This is a developing story, so stay with 13 WMAZ on air and online as we work to learn more. And this morning, Warner Robins police continue looking for the man they believe is behind a home invasion and a bank robbery turned shooting.
The chaos began just before 9:30 yesterday morning. That's when officers responded to a home invasion call on West Imperial Circle. They got a report that a man with a gun kicked in the homeowner's door, stole his car keys, and drove away.
Now, just a few minutes later, police got a call to the credit union on North Houston Road about a bank robbery and someone shot. Police Chief John Wagner says a man fitting the same description as the home invasion suspect walked into the bank and demanded money. He attempted to jump the counter. His gun went off, hitting a teller. That victim is now in critical condition.
Now, Chief Wagner says they're still working to figure out if the suspect intentionally fired the gun off or not. The robber got money and drove away in the car stolen in the home invasion. Police later found that car but did not find the man.
Now, right now, authorities are looking for this man. Take a look at your screen. Wagner says investigators are still working to identify him. And if you have any information, you can call Macon Regional Crime Stoppers. That number is 1-877-68-CRIME. Again, 1-877-68-CRIME. You can also contact Warner Robins Police. Well, this week, a Houston County man accused of murdering his wife earlier this year is on trial. Back in February, Harold Seidenfaden told a neighbor he had an argument with his wife and killed her. That's according to the Houston County Sheriff's Office. Investigators found 60-year-old Deborah Seidenfaden dead inside their RV in Elko. In April, a Houston County grand jury indicted Harold on several charges, including malice and felony murder. The indictment says the 79-year-old stabbed his wife. He opted for a bench trial before a judge rather than a jury. The case could wrap up today.
Let's get you to some news from across the state. Closing arguments are set to continue today in the murder trial of Ahmaud Arbery's death. Starting this morning, the state is expected to have the final word in a rebuttal. Then the jury will get the case. Yesterday, the prosecution argued the 3 men accused in the case assumed the worst about Arbery, leading to his death. They say the defendants didn't have probable cause to conduct a citizen's arrest because they didn't witness a crime and didn't have direct knowledge of a crime. However, the defense showed the 3 men as concerned neighbors who got reports of burglaries in the area. Now, defense attorneys argued father and son Gregory and son Travis McMichael, along with William Roddy Bryan, were just defending themselves when they tried to detain Arbery. Now to 3 other headlines from around the state we're following for you. The Regents of Georgia's public university system, they say they won't rename any of 75 buildings or colleges. This comes after a committee recommended them for changes, finding names that honored people with ties to slavery, segregation, or mistreatment of Native Americans. One of the schools the committee recommended for renaming was Gordon State College in Lamar County. It was named after a Confederate general and post-Civil War politician. System Regents voted yesterday not to make any changes.
Well, a congressional redistricting plan now heads to Governor Brian Kemp's desk. The State House voted yesterday to approve a map that could increase the GOP advantage among Georgia's 14 congressional representatives. It would likely shift Georgia's 6th congressional district from Democratic to Republican control. Republicans currently hold an 8-6 edge in Georgia's congressional districts. The new map could shift that edge to 9-5. And today, one of Georgia's U.S. senators will be in Macon to talk about upgrades to roads and bridges in the Peach State. The Central Georgia visit is one of the stops Senator John Ossoff will make across the state today. His team says it's to talk about the infrastructure bill President Joe Biden recently signed into law. They say it's set to bring over $11 billion to Georgia to improve things like roads, public schools, and broadband internet. The senator will hold a press conference at 1 this afternoon at Amerson River Park. Well, in just 1 week, Warner Robins will find out who its top city leader will be.
If you want to vote early in the runoff election to decide the next mayor, you only have 2 more days to do that. Early voting for the November 30th election kicked off yesterday and it continues through tomorrow. People in the International City can vote for LaRonda Patrick or the incumbent Mayor Randy Toms.
Now, the city says you can vote at the Houston County Board of Elections office on Kings Chapel Road in Perry or the Houston Health Pavilion on North Houston Road in Warner Robins. Early voting runs from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. today and tomorrow. Election day is a week from today, next Tuesday.
Today you have a shot to get a vaccine. No appointment needed. The Macon-Bibb County Health Department will continue a 2-day vaccine clinic to focus on walk-in patients who want to get their COVID-19 and or flu vaccines. You can get the shots today from 8:15 to 4:15 at their spot out there on Forsyth Street. The department will offer adult COVID-19 vaccines and booster shots. They'll also give out Pfizer's pediatric vaccine to kids ages 5 to 11. Anyone under the age of 18 must have a parent or guardian with them.
Well, looking ahead to next week, people in Bibb County will begin to see new trash and recycling cards show up at their houses, but many of you will have to wait until next year to use them. Dublin company Ryland Environmental will take over solid waste services for all of Macon-Bibb beginning in January, but the company will start delivering the bins next Monday, the 29th. That's according to County Communications. Now, the area of Bibb County that Ryland currently serves can use those new red and blue bins as soon as you get them. Everyone else will need to wait until January the 3rd. All right, the time is now 6:39. Make sure you are bundled up this morning. It is a good thing that kids have the day off today and not out at the bus stop.
I was just thinking about that. I said those kids are so lucky because back in our day, we didn't get a full week off for Thanksgiving. We got like the day before and that was it.
Yes, it was always the day before Thanksgiving and then I think Friday. It was like 3 days, you know.
Monday.
Count your blessings, all of you out there. All right, everyone. Well, yeah, while it is cold and Thanksgiving is going to be cold when it comes to standards of average, it's not going to be the coldest Thanksgiving we've ever had. Take a look at the coldest low we've had. 10 degrees. Could you imagine waking up on Thanksgiving? Yeah, no thank you. That was in 1950 and the high temperature that day only made it into the mid-20s. But also on the other end, the warmest high was 80 degrees and I also would rather not have that. We are going to be just right, everyone, right in the middle of both of those, but still chilly by a few degrees when it comes to where we should be for this time of year. Lots of sunshine though. That's going to be thanks to high pressure. Of course, that cooler air thanks to that front that is now off the coast. As high pressure continues to settle itself in, we'll have a little bit of a breeze to work with this morning, and that is going to make it feel a little cooler as it is in some spots to kick off the day. You're looking live on top of the Fred Roberts in Dublin, all ready for Christmas. I know a lot of you probably have already decorated for Christmas, and it sure feels like that time of year out there. 36 right now in the city of Dublin. Area-wide, we're generally in the mid-30s, 37 in Gordon. It looks like a little cooler in Warner Robins where you're at 32, 34 in Forsyth, 35 in Unadilla, and 36 in Wrightsville. When you factor in that light breeze, it does feel cooler in some spots. Feels like 26 in Thomaston, 30 in Macon, and 29 in Gordon. No matter what temperature you're looking at though, the feels like or the actual temperature, you need the coat this morning, that's for sure. Maybe you want to go heat up the car a little early before you head out the door. We'll stay in the 30s through the next hour or so, so it's going to take a little while to warm up. Now that the sun is up, of course, temperature is only going to go up from here, but it's going to be a gradual warming. Today, temperatures are only going to climb into the mid-50s. This model thinks low 50s, but I think we'll exceed that by a degree or two. As we head head into tomorrow morning, that cold air really settles in. High pressure to our northeast pulls in colder air off the Appalachians. We're going to wake up in the low 30s tomorrow morning again. Some of us maybe even in the upper 20s. Tomorrow afternoon, we'll head into the upper 50s. And of course, beyond tomorrow is Thanksgiving, just 2 days away. We're waking up in the low 30s. High temperatures, though, are going to rise into the low 60s, maybe some mid 60s. Do I look like I'm standing on this table? I feel like that's what this graphic looks like, right? Yeah, I feel like even shorter than I actually am in real life with this graphic. Low 30s for the morning, low maybe to mid 60s for the afternoon. It's going to be a really beautiful holiday. Now, we do have another front that's going to be on the way for Friday. On Friday morning, we'll have the chance for maybe just a stray shower or two, but colder air is going to filter in behind that. So we're just going to keep that cold pattern going here across central Georgia. Low 30s Tuesday through Thursday morning. Will gradually warm each day. We'll be in the low 60s by Thanksgiving. Small rain chance on Friday, and then we are sunny and cool through the weekend, and then we'll still be cool as we kick off next week.
Well, thank you so much, Courtney. As we go to break, we want to remind you that this week we are giving thanks to support local charities that serve so many needs.
A lot of people that you meet do not realize that the Salvation Army is a church. And we are first and foremost a church. And it's because we are a church that we are service oriented.
Founded in Macon in 1899, the Macon Corps of the Salvation Army was the 5th location founded in Georgia. They serve 5 counties. That's Bibb, Crawford, Jones, Monroe, and Twiggs. You see those red kettles around the holidays, but they are helping people out of homelessness year-round through things like shelters, food, and rent assistance. That's why we are asking you to join us to give thanks to the Salvation Army with a $5 donation right now. I'm going to do it. I just made that decision. I want you to do it with me. You can give more if you want, but we want to figure if a whole bunch of people can give just $5, it'll go such a long way. All you have to do is just text the word thanks. Do it with me to 478-752-1309. Again, we want to send a text to you to 478-752-1309, and we will send you a link directly to your phone. So Central Georgia, let's go ahead and dig in those wallets. It's just $5. Let's do it.